Good evening and welcome to Bridge Community Church Thursday evening Bible study. Hope you are keeping well. I've been reflecting on two particular passages of scripture quite a lot over the last few weeks. I'm one of those who likes to keep a journal, and so I've been writing about them as I've been thinking about them. I just want to share some of these thoughts with you. And these two scriptures are so well known, and yet I think they are quite central for us as Christians. Not just for the church, they are central for the church, but I think for us as individuals, as we try to think about some of the important things that need to be present in our lives, as we seek to grow, as we seek to do God's will and be more and more Christ-like. And so here are the two scriptures, Matthew 28, the Great Commission. And Jesus said, verse 19 and 20, "Go, make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you, and surely I will be with you to the end of the age." And then the great commandment in Matthew 22. You know that story really well, where one of the teachers of the law comes to Jesus and says, "Which is the greatest commandment?" And that was a normal discussion in the day of Jesus. There were over 600 commandments in the Old Testament. And it was an ongoing debate between the people and the rabbis. Which were the greatest? Which were the ones that we really ought to focus our attention out of the 600 and odd? And Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. That is the greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbour as yourself." And Jesus goes on to say, the law and the prophets hang on these two. Now that's a big statement. The law and the prophets is a reference to the entire Old Testament. And of course, in Jesus' day, it wasn't the Old Testament. There was no New Testament. It was the Bible. It was the scriptures that Jesus read. It was the scriptures that Jesus was brought up on, what we call today the Hebrew Bible. And Jesus says, loving God with all your heart and your soul and your mind, and loving your neighbour as yourself, if you do these two things, you will fulfill the scriptures. Well, that is amazing, isn't it? And so as I look at these two passages, I'd like to make life as uncomplicated as possible. And I settled on three things that I see in these two scriptures that I want to grow in and I want to develop in my life. They're already there for me and they're already there for you. But in some of these areas, sometimes, we go well and then we grow cold in them, don't we? We go strong and then somehow, somewhere, we let things go a little bit. So the three things I've been looking at, first of all, from the Great Commission, go and make disciples of all nations. And then it seems like Jesus says there's two things that are included in making disciples. He goes on to say, baptize them and then teach them to obey everything I've commanded you. And the baptize them bit says to me, that's the part about having reaching out, loving people who do not yet know Jesus, loving people who are on a journey of faith toward Jesus, and helping them come to a place of discovering Jesus. Baptize them, get them to a place where they are saying, yes, Jesus is for me. And this is the outward looking, reaching out. And I think about my own life and the people that I connect with and mix with who are not yet followers of Jesus, and how I might reach out to them and how I might love them. I was recently playing golf with two guys I play golf regularly with. They are not yet followers of Jesus. And I can talk to them very openly and enjoy doing so. And for a little bit of fun, but also being serious, I spoke to them as I played with them last week and said, can I use you two for a bit of research for a sermon that I'm preaching? And they said, yeah, fine. I said, okay, when you hear the words, the wrath of God, what does it make you think? The wrath of God. And one of them said straight away, superstitious nonsense. And the other one said, punishment, severe punishment. And you know what? We ended up having a wonderful conversation about God and about God's grace as well as his wrath. And it just reminded me again how we as individuals need to somehow, somewhere have those links with people who are not yet in a relationship with Jesus and love them. And we don't love them just to get them into a relationship with Jesus. We need to love them even if they never come into a relationship with Jesus. There are people I am still journeying with, and I have done for many, many years, and they are not yet in a relationship with Jesus, but I'm called to love them. And I wonder about you. Go make disciples of all nations, baptize them. That reaching out piece, who are you connecting with? Who are you loving? Who are you praying for? Who are you trying to help come on a journey toward faith in Jesus? So, reaching out, loving people who are not yet followers of Jesus. And the second area, Jesus goes on in the Great Commission and says, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. I've thought about this one quite a lot, probably more than the other ones. Teaching them to obey everything Jesus said. And I've started a little exercise, and if you've got nothing much going on in your daily reading, or if you just want to push a little bit deeper in your reading, why don't you join me in this exercise? I've shared this with some other people as well. I shared it with the elders not so long ago, and I know one or two of them are doing this. But wouldn't it be interesting to go through the Gospels slowly with a pen and paper in your hand, or your journal, start in Matthew, and just note every time Jesus taught something that was about life and about living and about attitude, just note it down. And then begin to build up this picture of everything Jesus taught us. We might call that the way of Jesus. And that's what we want to grow into. We want to grow into the way of Jesus. Everything he taught, everything he said. And it's a really interesting exercise. I'm enjoying doing it, and I invite you to do it too. And this second area of hearing what Jesus said, understanding what Jesus said, and asking God, help me to live this out. Help me to live like Jesus lived. One of the things in his Sermon on the Mount, Jesus tells us in Matthew 7, you know the story well, the wise and the foolish builders. And it's interesting in that story. You see, the wise and the foolish builders, it says they heard the word. They both heard the word. The wise builders heard the word, and the foolish builders heard the word. But the wise builders, it says, put it into practice. The foolish builders never did. And it's when the rain came and the storms came, and notice the storm and the rain comes on the wise and the foolish. We're not exempt from storms just because we're followers of Jesus. We get rained on just like everybody else. But the text says, look, because the wise builders they'd put into practice Jesus' word, their house stood firm. The foolish builders heard the word, just never practiced it. I really don't want to be one of those foolish builders who read my Bible, hear the word, but never put it into practice. So I want to encourage you to outwork these two areas that come out of the Great Commission. First, that one about, well, who are the people I connect with who are on a journey with Jesus? And how can I prayerfully, lovingly, with wisdom, help them in that journey of faith? And how can I begin to really not just know what Jesus taught, but then begin to throw myself on God and say, help me to live this. Help me to live like Jesus, teaching them to obey everything I've commanded you. And then thirdly, coming out of the great commandment, which we can kind of reduce to love God, love others. Love God with everything you've got, love others. And included in loving others is, well, it even includes our enemies, doesn't it? Love your enemies, Jesus says. But it includes one another. It includes our fellow Christians. And this is the third area I've been thinking about. This whole area of friendship, community, doing the journey with other people. We're not meant to be on our own. We're not meant to go in this journey of life by ourselves. We need others. People that we love and people we know love us. We need to be on a journey. We need to do this in community. We need to be reaching out to people who are on a faith journey and helping them on a faith journey. We need to be finding out all the stuff that Jesus taught and asking God to help us live it. But we need to do it in community, in relationship with other people. People that we can walk with and journey with. You know, the writer in Ecclesiastes puts it really well. 2 are better than 1. Because if one falls down, the other can help the other up. And then he goes on to say, look, a 3-cord strand is not easily broken. We need people. Who are those people for me? Who are those people for you? 2 people, 3, 4 people, whoever it is, whether you call it a small group or a prayer group or just a friendship group or a bunch of mates, whatever it is, we need that in our lives. I like Acts chapter 4 and verse 23. Peter and John had a really, really bad week. They'd been out preaching. They were arrested. They were threatened and released. And it tells us in Acts 4:23, when they were released, they went back to their own people and told them everything. And I guess my question is, who are the people you go back to? When you've had a bad week or a bad day, when you're struggling with some stuff, maybe with doubt around your Christian faith, maybe with a family issue, maybe with a health issue, who are the people that you go back to and you can tell them everything? So that you're not journeying by yourself, you're journeying with others. This is vital. Who are those people for you? And then I really love the story in Luke 5. You know it really, really well. You know where Jesus is in the house and these men carry the lame man who can't walk on a mat. And by the time they get there, there's a crowd. They can't get in. The only way in is through the roof. There is so much about that picture that thrills me and blesses me, that these men carry this guy on a mat. How inconvenient was that? They hear Jesus is coming to town. Read the text for yourself. They hear Jesus is in town. They have no chance of getting a front row seat because they've got to carry this guy. I mean, they could have seen him as a bit of a nuisance, an inconvenience. Here's our friend, he can't walk, we're going to have to carry him. And yes, by the time they get there, all the best seats were taken. They couldn't get in. They couldn't get anywhere near Jesus, but determined, they're going through the roof. And I love this. In verse 20, it says, when Jesus saw their faith. Wow. He saw the faith of this man's friends. Who are the people in your life who are prepared maybe to carry you when you need carrying? And sometimes we all do. Who are the people who have faith? Faith to bring you to Jesus. Faith to bring you to Jesus in their prayers. Faith to pray for you and believe for you and be there for you and carry you. And who are the people you can be that for as well? So 3 very simple areas that come out of those 2 passages of Scripture that I want to grow in my life. I've not arrived. I couldn't give myself 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 or even 8 out of 10 in any of those. What it means just to reach out to those who are on a faith journey and the people around me, the natural, this isn't talking about, go do door to door or go do open air street preaching. This is about, as you go about your normal everyday life, who are those people? Can you just begin even just to pray for them again? And pray for opportunities just to share something with them, or just to love them and be normal and natural and chat and see what comes up and take opportunities as they come. And then this whole area of reading about Jesus, his way, his example, his commands, the things he said that we were to do, and asking God, help me to grow in that. Maybe you might even start a little journal and start reading through the Gospels and just begin to write everything down where you think, ooh, there's something Jesus taught us and told us that we had to do. I can think of loads off the top of my head just now. I'm sure you can as well. And then thirdly, who am I in relationship with? Who are the life-giving relationships to me? And who can I give life to? Who are my friends? Who are the people that I'm journeying with and doing life with? So I really hope and pray that's been a little bit of provoking for you in some of these thoughts. I really hope and pray that you can grow in these areas as I'm seeking to do. And I pray God bless you and have a great week. Thank you.